Okay, today we're looking at the centre lathe. This is the centre lathe. It consists of quite complicated parts. It's very expensive and is used for turning metal or some plastics. Okay, we'll start at this side. Here we've got the gears which change the speed of the rotation of the chuck. This depends on different materials that you're cutting, depends on what speed you do. Again, same as the pillar drill, they're at different speeds by changing the gears and the pulleys. Okay, here we've got emergency stop button. This button is for adding oil, which this machine doesn't have because it's not fitted. And these are feed rates for cutting screw threads. Okay, this part here, all of this together, is called the headstock. Okay, this part is the guard which protects the chuck, and this one is a three-jaw chuck. The three-jaw chuck holds work in place, but a four-jaw chuck will hold much more accurately in place. Okay, as we move along, this part along the bottom here, which is a bit dirty at the moment, is called the bed, right? And it's got this part here, which is called the saddle, which moves back and forth. Okay, and it moves down and that way. Okay, this one across here, this handle is called the cross slide, and it's locked. Okay, so that is the cross slide, moves it back and forth. And this one here, which can be adjusted, moves in and out, is called a compound slide. Okay, at the back for centering, we've got this, which is called the tailstock, and then we've got these parts here, right in there, this part, which is for cutting screw threads. Okay, it is a very complicated machine, and it is very difficult to use if you haven't been trained how to use on it. Okay, this calculator up here is flashing because of the flicker of the video, but this enables us to get very accurate cuts, okay, by changing different settings on there and moving the cross slide. Okay, it's also got a lamp on there so we can see what we're doing. Again, this machine won't work same as the pillar drill unless the guard is down, and that locks in place like that. It's also got an emergency stop button on the bottom, which is a foot button, which will turn the machine off. Okay, this reservoir in here is for oil, and oil will normally be pumped onto the cutting, the piece that's being cut, to protect the cutting tool. Now the cutting tool is this part here, and this is used for cutting bits of metal. So we'll rotate pieces of metal in the chuck, and then this will move against it and shred off pieces of metal. Now this cutting tool is very tough. It's made from what's called tool steel, and it is cut in a certain angle to allow the material to come off. So you can see that this tip on the end has been cut in a certain angle to allow clearance when the machine is cutting. Okay, this tool post on the top here, this part, has got a guard on it which slides across, and it's got 4 different settings. So there's one this side, this is for a different tool, sorry, and this is for a different tool, oh, and this one. Okay, so it's quite a complicated thing that rotates around to make it easier to cut with different things. Right, so not only can we cut with it, but we can face off, which tidies up the front of it, and that very simply is the centre lathe.